Dear learners, welcome to this session on creation of effective e-content. I, Dr. Remet Dias, Head of Pharmacy Department at Government Polytechnic Jalgaon, welcome you all. After completing this module, the learners will be able to define e-content and state its features, describe steps in development of e-content for learning, and create e-content for online teaching learning process using various multimedia tools. Now, let us see what do you mean by e-content. E-content is the information and creative elements contained within a website or other internet platform. It can also be called as digital content. E-content can be created by any organization or individuals. It includes text, audio, video, photos, images, graphics, games, animations, and various presentations. Now let us see what are the characteristics of good e-content. Any e-content should be visually appealing and it should connect to audience. Anybody who want to visit that e-content, he should feel that this content is what I wanted to see, or this content which I wanted to go through. Therefore, visuals and connecting to audience is important. It should bring some interaction between a e-content and a person who is using it. There should be the clear learning objectives which should come forth through this e-content. The content should be focused and simplified. Time and space should be utilized very properly, and with that e-content, the customers, the students should be satisfied. So these are the 7 important characteristics when we are preparing the e-content. Now, let's see what are the various phases of developing e-content. The first phase is analysis. We have to analyze the need of developing the e-content. Not only that, we have to see who is going to be our target audience, and we should analyze them, that what exactly we should put forth to this level of their understanding. Second phase is the design phase. Here, a teacher needs to consider the aspects like which course he is going to design, how many chapters he is going to cover, and in every chapter how many modules are going to be there. If he is going to think on a single module, he should think whether this module he is going to develop the e-content in the form of a PDF file, in a form of a video, or in the form of a audio. So what exactly he is going to work out in his course, that is important. So second step is design. The third one is development. Once your plans are ready, what you are going to develop is ready, then actual development will start. If you are going to take the first chapter, you are going to create a video for that, come on, you have to develop that video, and that video needs to be tested by your colleagues, tested by the experts in the field, so that they will guide you. The next step is of implementation. If the experts have told you to redesign the article, yes, you have to do it, and then you are going to implement it. And then the evaluation will be done by your students who are going to listen it, or by your peers who are going to listen. So Usually the e-content development are the phases starting from analysis, need analysis as well as audience analysis, then designing of each and every module and its details, then developing the modules or whatever activity you have planned, then testing of each activity, and then you are going to implement it actually, and once it is there in the market, it will be evaluated, which can be further modified. So after going through all these phases, let us go ahead to a question. What are various forms of e-content that needs to be developed by a teacher for online teaching? Dear learners, take your time, pause the video and record your answers. What various forms of e-content that teacher needs to develop? If you have done with your answer, then play the video. So dear learners, you are going to create the e-content for the online teaching, and those are creation of visuals and images, creation of presentations, creation of animations, videos, podcasts or blogs. So let us go to the first, that is how you can create the good visuals. Whenever you want to come up with a image or a visual or a chart, at that time these are the important parameters which you should consider. First of all, have clarity of the subject. The image should clear what you mean to say. Once you have chosen the image or designed the image, remember the rule of thirds. Rule of thirds means your graphics should not cover 1/3 of your contents. It should be lesser than that, and it should not be at the center. Use always the natural light. Make sure there is enough contrast so that the graphics design will be seen very nicely on the e-content platform. You should always choose complementary colors. If you want, you can get familiar with a color wheel. Let us go to this color wheel. You can see this Canva color wheel where you can pick any color which you want from here. This one has been picked over here. So if you pick this color, you can go for a complementary. What type of color combination you want? Monochromatic, analogous, complementary, and we are going to choose complementary. So we have got this complementary color which can be used. So you can create a graphic over here, or you can use this color wherever you want to design. Now let us go ahead. You have to keep the graphics very simple and don't go for over editing it. Now let us see how we can get the good images. If you come to pixels, I can give any of the topic. So let's go for the pharmacy. So yes, we have got this. So what you are looking for, give the topic and these are the pictures which you want. If you want to select this, yes, you can select it and freely you can download it. The downloaded picture can be once again modified. So we can create very good visuals by either designing or using free software tools which are available, and these can be used in our presentations. Now let us go to the second part, creation of presentations. Now when the presentations need to be created, keep the layout design very simple. Limit your bullet points and text 6x6 rule. Means in a presentation there should not be more than 6 lines and there should not be a 6 word in a single line. Then you can limit the transitions, you can use animations, but it should not look gaudy by more types of animations you are taking. Then use high quality graphics, use color very well, think of which font to be used, and even you can use video or audio. Now let us go and see how we can do a Prezi presentation. Dear colleagues, we are using PowerPoint, and PowerPoint is the king in presentations. But still, I just want to show you that how the Prezi can change your already created presentations. Now you can see this Prezi website. Here we can create the presentations from templates, or we can start from the scratch and use the features to prepare our own presentation, or you can convert your PowerPoint presentation. Whatever PowerPoint presentation you are having, if you convert it, it will be changed to a very different type of presentation. So what we can do is we have to go here. So we get here to upload our PowerPoint file. So you can upload a PowerPoint file and then you can see how your presentation is done. I have uploaded the file and one presentation is ready. So let us see how it has converted a PowerPoint presentation into a Prezi presentation. You can see the zooming in of the slides and zooming out of the slides. Okay, that's all. That was the PowerPoint presentation converted into a Prezi presentation. Only thing is, this presentation will be saved in Prezi website. As we save our videos on either on Facebook or YouTube, likewise we can save this presentation on Prezi, and whenever we require it, we can use the same presentation. Only thing is, internet will be required. You can add music to this, you can create your own presentation. So this type of different looking presentations can be done by using Prezi. We have Canva, so various other softwares can be used to create these type of presentations. Dear colleagues, we can create videos as a e-content. For that, first thing you have to do is pick your topic on which you want to create a video. Choose a format for your content. This is important because you can create various types of videos. Your screen can be recorded, which is called as a screen recorder. You can animate, so that is called as an animated video. Your face can be recorded, so you can even use that camcorder type of human recorder. So various types of videos can be recorded, and therefore first you have to choose the format for your content. Make the script ready while delivering your lecture. Your script should be ready. You are going to record the video using a software, and then you can edit it, review your work, and then once the work is reviewed, produce, host. There needs to be hosting, maybe on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere you can host, and then you can distribute it. This is the Screencast-O-Matic, where you can launch the free recorder, no need of login, and you can record 15 minutes of video just as a screen recorder, or you can even have your own webcam focused on you, or you can use both webcam as well as screen recording. So go ahead and record your video by following the rules given for recording the video. So let us see the remaining e-content creation in the next video. Thank you. Dear learners, let us see now how we can develop e-content having animations. What is animation? Animation is the art of making inanimate objects appear to move. The requirements are very simple. If you have a laptop or PC and an internet connection and a good software like that of Animaker or any other software, free software can do. You should have some artistic flair and you need to have patience because you need to work on every slide. But my dear teachers, every time with the presentations and with the videos, the students may not be that much engaged. Sometimes if you give animation, they will be more than happy to receive the animations from you. And therefore, let us see how we can create animation with Animaker. If you open Animaker, you can see this dashboard where you have a create tab given. In the dashboard, you have lot many of things, but when you go to create, you can create a video, Animaker voice, GIF, or you can create a character. Now we will go to create a video. You can see here, there are the templates which can also be used, or you can create your untitled video. So let us click to blank video. Now you can see this dashboard where the characters are waiting for you. There are so many characters. Few are with payment, but there are so many free characters. So I will choose this as a character. I can place him maybe to the left side. Then you can, if you have multi actions, you can choose this, but a single action, you can choose this. So here from expressions and actions, you will get so many people. So here I will select him because he raises his hand. So I have selected him. So he has come over here, who can raise his hand and talk something. Now you can see here in a violet color, you will find there is the timeline of 10 seconds. So if you want to have your first slide for 10 seconds, you can keep this timeline. If you want to have more time, then you can increase it. Or it has become 11 seconds now. Or you can even reduce the timeline from 10 seconds to 9 seconds, but we will keep it for 10 seconds for the first slide. Okay, so here you can see this is what we have got as a scene 1. That scene 1 is a slide 1. So now if I can click him, you will find that you have got this timeline. So when you want he should be present on the slide from 0 second, then it's okay. If you don't want him at 0 second, then you can change the timeline, but we will keep it from 0 second. And up to what time? We don't want him to be there up to 9 seconds. So maybe I will reduce his time up to 4 seconds. Okay, so his time has been reduced. Now you can see here icon of a character. So I will just click him. Here you can see here, click to add enter effects. So I will just give. So I will give the effect of pop left. Okay, so you can see the scene 1. So he's coming from the left side and he's there up to 4 seconds. After 4 seconds, he's going out. Now once again, we will go towards the palette and we can select the text. Here we can add a heading. Now I have added the heading and subheading. Then you can see there is a T, 2 T's you can see over here. One for the heading and one for the subheading. So here also what you can do is at what time you want them. Okay, so online text should come at 4 seconds because, or I will take, yes, I will take 4 seconds. then the another text. So here for this text you can see here you can give the effect for it. So I will give the effect like pop up, fade up. So here also you can see so I'm giving him pop left. So I have got this. So it will come in within 1 second over here. If you want to increase, you can increase this also, but it's okay. Now we will go to the heading. So at 4 seconds, the heading is going to come. So what I will do is a subheading is going to come. So for heading also, I will take it up to 3 seconds. So at 3 seconds, this heading will come. Okay, and everything will be there up to 10 seconds. So we have added the animation to as far as text is concerned, as far as character is concerned. Now you can see how it looks. So he's the man who is coming up to 4 seconds. Then you are getting okay. Now we can even record the voice to this. So you can see for this you have to go to here, that's the video timeline. So you have get the video timeline. You will find that there is a icon of a speaker mic. Then you can see here you can add a voice over. So I will take a record voice over. So if I want to record the voice, I will click here and record my voice. So I have recorded the voice. You can have a preview or you can re-record it, but I'm going to say apply to this. So it's going to sing. Now the audio is also recorded. So you can see the first slide how it is going to look. Dear learners, welcome to this session on tools for online. So you can see how we have recorded the first slide, that with the animation. With the use, you will be able to synchronize the voice, because this voice can be synchronized. If you want to take the voice earlier, you can do it, but it will take some practice for you to do it. Okay, so it is hectic. The first slide is over now. Then likewise, you have to go for the second slide, third slide. Like this, you will have to record. But if you can record at least 5 minutes animation of one of the bits of your topic, that will be very good for your students. Now this recorded animation can be published. You can either download the video or you can publish it on YouTube, Twitter or Facebook, or you can even share it to your people. Okay, so that facility is available with Animaker. You can create blog as e-content. When you want to create a blog, few of the things needs to be taken into consideration. The first foremost thing is you should focus on title of your article, because the people are going to read your article based on your title. So you should be able to focus on title. Keep the material, written material, very simple. Write with originality. Check before you post, either grammatically or for what material you have taken. Check for it. Be consistent in your posts. If you are creating a post and after first blog you have not created regular blogs, then nobody is going to come and see your blog. Be creative and honest and allow the comments. So there are so many softwares where the blogging can be done. Bloggers is there, but WordPress which is a free website which you can develop. That also gives you the facility of creating a blog. So I will just show you that this is my WordPress website. So rametdias.wordpress.com. So in this, I have created one blog, my experience with FDP 101X. Okay, so I have written something up here. So this is what my blog is, my experience. So whatever I could write, because if you are a good writer, you can write, and then you can see this is what we have done. And even there is one section called as a leave a reply. So anybody who sees your blog can give the comment after reading the blog. So for creating a blog, you need one laptop PC with internet, so that whatever the written material is typed by you can be posted with the help of a good software. Here WordPress is a very good site where you can post your blogs, or you can use another like that of Blogger. So good software, and you should have a good writing skills, and that can be reviewed by somebody who can moderate it so that you can publish your post. Podcast can be another e-content which teacher can develop. Podcasting is the series of audio files that are hosted online. For that, you need to choose the topic on which you are going to create the podcast. Choose name for your podcast, because that is going to have a brand, Ramet Dias Podcast, like this. Then you have to choose the right format and right length of your podcast. Write the script, because whenever you are going to speak in front of microphone, you need to have script in front of you. Rehearse it and then take the microphone into your hand. Be consistent in your podcast, because once you start podcasting, the students are going to wait for your next podcast. Okay, then let us see what are the requirements for podcasting. One should have a good speaking skills. He should have a laptop, PC, internet with good quality microphone and good recording software. But this recording software will be two. One is a voice recorder or audio recorder like that of Audacity, and second one is a podcast hosting site. That's a podcasting site like that of Buzzsprout. So let's see how we can do it. So this is Audacity software which can be downloaded. So if you want to generate this one, you can go for the recording. Whatever I am speaking now, that is being recorded here. So I will stop over here. So you can see this is the audio track which has been recorded over here. So Audacity has recorded, so you can see here, you can save your project. So you can save your project as this one, but we need to export it. So we will go to export, and in what format you want. Export audio, export as MP3. I will take it as export as MP3, and the MP3 file will be created by this. So I have shown you how I can record a podcast on Audacity. Now we can see on Buzzsprout how we can upload the file. So you can drag your audio file here to upload. So my audio file has been uploaded. So you have these options. Either you have to publish it immediately or leave unpublished so that you can come for other time, or you can schedule it for future. Pick a date at the time of release when you want to release. So Buzzsprout will give you, so you can write your title, episode, description, and this will be saved over here, published, and that can be listened. Dear learners, I, Dr. Ramet Dias from Government Polytechnic Jalgaon, welcome you to this module on components of online teaching. After completion of this module, the learners will be able to identify various components of online teaching, create reflection spot in videos for improving student engagement, create learning by doing activity for reinforcing student learning, use discussion forum to improve the student interactions, and learning extension trajectories for further reading. Let me acknowledge IIT Bombay for the concept of learning centric MOOC and their FDP courses ET 702X, FDP 101X and FDP 201X. Special thanks to Jai Krishnan M, Samir Sahasrabuddhe and other teachers of IIT Bombay for training me on online teaching. Let us consider elements of physical classroom where student, teacher and contents interact. Teacher first decides the learning outcomes and prepare the necessary content in terms of learning resources and notes, which he presents it to the students in classroom. This is content-teacher interaction. Now, teacher interacts with students through explanation, asking questions, while students interact with teacher by asking their queries and solving assignments. This is student-teacher interaction. Students also interact with contents through reading notes and solving tests. Student-student interaction also take place for learning the material. Now, this is the setup of traditional classroom. It's a time to think and reflect. Pause the video and record your answer in notebook on question. What changes will happen if we convert physical classroom settings to online classroom settings? If you have finished writing, play the video and see the answer. Let me answer you that the three elements remain same, but there are changes in the interaction of these elements. Let us take first element, contents. Here the contents are prepared in terms of course material. These course materials may be videos or handouts or any problems or exercises. Teacher prepares the content and this is called as learning dialogue, LED. Our second component or element is teacher, whose role changes to facilitator as he interacts with students through discussion forum, solving the difficulties of students, give feedback and grade their assignments. He facilitates the student learning with various interaction, and these interactions are called as learning experience interactions, LXI. Now, the third element is student. Student accesses the course material online by watching videos and solving the exercises. Even learning extension trajectories is posted for further reading, which is called as LXT. Let us now consider learning dialogue, LED, in details. Video lectures and other course material is prepared by teacher. Now, videos are different from our traditional lecture as the student can play the video, he or she can pause it, rewind it and listen for many times, increase the volume of the teacher or increase the picture size. So, video lectures are far better than classroom lectures. There are two changes to be adopted in creating video. One is adding reflection spot and another is adding learning by doing activity. In a learning dialogue, you can see the content, then reflection spot, and again the contents. Content is either the short video or text or animation. We all know that the learner loses the focus if he watches the video passively. Hence, reflection spot is added. Reflection spot provides opportunity to make learner pause, reflect on preceding content, express their thinking and do micro practice of whatever content is covered. After reflection spot, once again the content is there which should have summary with expected answer and should provide continuation with preceding content. If you see the learning dialogue dynamics, then the learner accesses the content through videos and then responds to reflection spot question which is between the two contents. To summarize, reflection spot is a question asked to learners which makes the learners to think and reflect. The main objective of the reflection spot is learner engagement with content and not the assessment of learner. The question should be able to connect content immediately preceding to it, and learner needs to express their idea via poll or MCQ or recording in diaries. Presently, you are recording your answers in notebook and this is an important activity. Dear learners, if you are not recording answers of reflection spot, then please start recording it, because average retention rate increases by 20% if you use the method as compared to watching regular videos. Now, let's go to learning by doing activities. Here, LBD is the activity which ensures content attainment by learners, immediate application of concepts by learners, and integration of overall knowledge. LBD is in the way of MCQ, short answer or long answer, which is meant for formative assessment of the learner. Now, the important component of LBD is constructive feedback. Learner gets feedback for why his option is wrong or correct, and if the activity is of long answer type, then the rubric is given so that the learners will know which are the essential parameters in that activity. Now, let's see learning by doing dynamics. Here you can see that learner performs the activity and he gets the customized constructive feedback. Let's conclude that learning by doing activities focus on concept attainment, applying knowledge and customized feedback. LBD should always be present after learning dialogue, that is LED, which will reinforce learning through customized constructive feedback. You have already seen in this course that every LBD, even the wrong options of MCQ, gives you corresponding feedback, while assignments which you do have been given with rubrics for self and peer assessment. Now, our third component is learning experience interaction, that is LXI. LXI is possible by posting a discussion thread in discussion forum where learner writes or gives reply to the question asked in discussion forum, and he also reads whatever the replies have been posted by peers. I request you all to do more interaction by seeing and replying the posts of others. This will ensure learner-learner interaction. So, in LXI, focus question is posted to ensure discussion does not scatter and followed by reflection quiz. To ensure learner participation, reflection quiz is important, but in this MOOC, we have not included it. Now, the fourth component is learner extension trajectories, where the learner accesses the documents and web links provided as resource materials, and followed by that, they face the assimilation quiz. But in our MOOC, we have not included assimilation quiz. Thus, online learning have four major components: LED, that is learning dialogue; LBD, that is learning by doing; LXT is learning extension trajectories; and learner experience interaction is LXI. In LED, we have content in terms of video or other material, which also contains reflection spot. Then learning by doing is having activities plus customized feedback is given. In learning extension trajectories, we have resources plus assimilation quiz, and in learner experience interaction, we have focused question for discussion plus peer interaction plus reflection quiz. So, we all should include all these four components in online learning to make the learning learner-centric. I am very thankful to you for watching this video on components of online teaching, and I hope that you have understood four different components: LED, LBD, LXI and LXT. I request you to include all these four components in resource materials you prepare for online teaching. Thank you and happy learning. Hello and namaste to this session on developing e-learning resources practical approach. After completing this module, the learners will be able to develop e-learning resources considering components of online teaching. Use reflection spot in videos, learning by doing activity after each module. Use discussion forum for student interactions and provide learning extension trajectories LXT. Dear learners, we have already seen what is learner-centric MOOC model. Whenever we have to develop a e-learning resource, we have to consider these four components. The first one is learning dialogues, which is made up of content in the form of article, PDF file, PowerPoint presentation, audio file, video, or even a blog or podcast. So any material which we are going to give for students to learn, that will have a learning dialogue. But the reflection spot is very, very important to be embedded into this content? It is because the student engagement takes place only through reflection spot. Now, the second component is learning by doing activity. Once the module is complete or the students have studied the learning material provided to them in a learning dialogue, then we can see how much material they could assimilate in watching that video or whatever content that has been provided. Learning by doing is not for assessment purpose. This is for reinforcement of learning. Therefore, a teacher needs to give some customized feedback to the students. If he attempts learning by doing activity and if his answer is wrong, we have to provide the feedback so that a student can know why his answer is wrong and which is the correct answer and why it is correct answer. Therefore, our duty is to have a customized feedback embedded in learning by doing activity. The third one is learner experience interaction, where a teacher has to give a focus question for discussion, and that will bring the peer interaction. It is the teacher's responsibility to see the participation of all the students is happening into the discussion. He has to give focus question and he has to check whether all the students are commenting on that focus question, because here peer discussion is very important, because it has been proved that students learn better after discussion with their peers, and therefore this has become an essential component into online teaching. Now, the last component, that is a learning extension, we have to provide the further learning material for those students who want to study deep on the matter, and even these are the resources where the students have to refer. So that makes our learning material totally complete if we include all these four components in developing e-content or e-learning material. Now, here is the question for you. After knowing the components of online teaching, how will you develop e-learning resources that satisfies these four components? Think and reflect on this question. Pause this video now and think for a moment. Whatever answer comes to your mind, write it into the record book. If you have done it, then you can play the video. So, dear learners, this is the framework for developing e-learning resources. Your answer was right. That four components: learning dialogue, learning by doing, learning experience interaction, and learning extension, tells us that we have to have these e-learning resources into our course. Learning dialogue, we can provide charts, images, PowerPoint slides, videos, blogs, podcasts, and handouts as a learning material to the students. but they should have a reflection spot where you can have a question or give some engaging activity which ensures that students are engaged in the video or in the provided material. Learning by doing, you have to conduct some quizzes or give some activity and give the customized feedback back to the students. Then in case of learning experience, we have to develop a e-learning resource in the form of a focus question which can be asked on a discussion forum, chats or group activity can also be given. And e-learning resources should be in the form of references of books, articles, websites or research articles for further reading should be given to the students. So all these are the e-learning resources teacher has to develop. Now, let us have a tour of already developed course for knowing how these four components are essential part of designing all e-learning resources if we want to achieve our set learning outcomes. These are the e-learning resources created for 4-week FDP on tools for online teaching learning process. Let us go to the week 1. Here you will find that module 1.1 is a learning dialogue in the form of a video. So this is a learning dialogue in the form of a video, and the care has been taken that reflection spot is added into it. Now, when we are talking about a video, video should not be more than specific time limit. If it is between 10 to 12 minutes, maximum up to 15 minutes, the students can easily be engaged with the content. Even in these 12 minutes, we have to see how we can insert a reflection spot in terms of question at the spot near 4 to 6 minutes, so that the students will remain attached, engaged with watching the video attentively. If you provide the video and there is no reflection spot, there is no LBD activity, the student may not be listening your video attentively. Now, once this is over, you can see that LBD activity is given. So, a student has to go through this LBD activity in the form of process. Here you can see whatever the questions have been asked, the student has to give the answers to these questions. If they give it wrong, then what was wrong is also given as a constructive feedback. So after learning dialogue, learning by doing, this is not for assessment. It's only for the sake of reinforcing whether they have assimilated what they have seen in video as a module. Now you can see that every module is having the LBD. So likewise, you are engaging the students, and you will also see that there will be the discussion forum which is there. So here you can find the discussion forum. So there's a question, a focus question is given. So you can see here that the focus question has been given, and even the participants have been asked to reply to other participants so that the peer discussion can take place. So you can see so many students have participated into this discussion forum, and that record we can make. You can see that even the assignment has been given to the students. so that they can solve it individually, in some cases even in the group, so that the learning happens. Then even you can see here the learning extension trajectories which has been given for helping them to learn more. So whatever the material is there, material has been provided. It can be noted over here that even the feedback of the participants or the students is taken. So that completes the loop, because if our modules are not up to the mark or students are not getting clarified, then some modifications to the modules needs to be done that we can do. So dear learners, this is what the journey of the learning resources I have done to you. So now you have understood what is the framework of developing e-learning resources. So whenever you are thinking of developing e-learning resources, think that how you can have a learning dialogue embedded with reflection spot, then how you can take a LBD activity, and afterwards even the discussion amongst the peers or the participant can take place, and how you can give some extension material for them. If all these components are covered, then I feel you have developed a great e-learning resource. So I wish you all the best for developing e-learning resources. Thank you and happy learning.